Hi, I'm Sonia Shivago.
I'm Adriana Villi.
We are actors,
Writers,
directors,
producers,
and we're two best friends
who made a movie
about two best friends.
Our movie is called Virgins by Choice. Join us for some real girl talk as we dive into some deep issues.
Unfiltered
Yes.
girl talk. You're welcome.
Real life, baby. Real life. So today we're talking about the Pact from our movie.
Which is pretty much the point of the film.
It's pretty much the point of the film, exactly.
Lily, do you swear to protect your vagina from intruders?
I do.
Do you promise to honor it in good times and in bad throughout this year and be faithful to this pact?
I do. So these two best friends decide to make a pact to abstain from sex for a whole year. Like, this is a serious commitment here. Serious.
4 seasons.
4
That
seasons.
means no sex in the wintertime when you really need to warm up, you know, because you're cold and then what comes after winter? Spring.
Spring fever. No spring fever for them.
Bunnies are going crazy. The pigeons are going crazy and you can't do nothing about that.
Nope.
Summertime.
Summertime.
I mean, that's just hot girl summer. How do you survive that?
I don't know. But
And then the fall, when people fall in love, very difficult.
Very
4
difficult.
seasons, if you really think about it. This is quite the challenge that Luna and Lily make.
that's right.
Mhm.
And so the question is, could you do it?
Could you also abstain from sex for a year? And would you? Would there be a benefit?
Yes, which we're going to talk about the
Yeah.
reasons why they do.
Yeah.
But keep that thought in your mind. Could you do it for 1 month? Could you do it for 3 months? Maybe 6 months?
What is the point of even doing it?
Exactly. So
Is
we're going to
there a
talk about
point?
that. Is there a point? Well, for these characters,
Yeah.
there is a point.
But
Yes.
it's not just doing it by yourself. It's doing it with a friend, with
Yes.
somebody that you're going on this journey with to hold each other accountable.
Yeah.
So it's like a friendship pact. So
Exactly.
that's the difference between you just doing it on your own and
Yeah.
you doing it with someone. So we're talking about you doing it with someone. So you're,
Even though you're not doing it with anyone.
yeah, it's like
You're
a book
doing
club.
it with someone, but you're not
Yeah.
doing it with someone else.
But the pro of that is that there's someone else going through exactly what you're going through
Yeah.
that can keep you on track and hold you accountable.
Yeah.
Because that's for Luna and Lily, there's so many moments of temptation, but if they think about how much they'd be hurting each other, then they, think
Yeah.
twice.
They think twice. And the reason they come into this pact to begin with is because they both feel like they need some time and space for themselves and to focus on healing. And again, even that journey, the healing journey together as friends. So you're not alone in whatever that looks like. And so the characters go through a bunch of things during that time for their healing.
Mm-hmm.
Like they start going to therapy, they start journaling, they start doing certain even rituals with each other.
So if we really look at it, it's not just about what they're not doing.
Yes.
It's actually about putting the focus and the priority on the self-healing.
Yeah.
So it's like we're going to focus on our well-being, our relationship to ourselves in an intimate way as well.
Yes, that's right. And my character explores that because she never explored that before.
So that you really know where you are and what you need before you bring in someone else. So that you can be a true advocate for your needs because you're aware of yourself and you've explored yourself and you've looked into the rocks of, the demons of your past and you've dealt with all that. So you are fully ready to offer the best self to someone. Even if it's just to have sex, you can offer the best sexual version of yourself. Right?
There you go. There you go.
So that's kind of, those are the perks.
Those are the perks.
Also, we have a thing that if you do it for a year, we will put you up on our website. We're going to
start that. That's right. We're going to start a page eventually. Maybe. So comment below. Comment below.
Actually, see if you even want
now
this.
that you heard what these two characters do, why they're doing it. And then think about that. Would you be able to, even if the answer is hell no, we want to know. We want to know if this is something that you think you could do. 1 week, 3 weeks, 1 month, 6 months, comments, whatever you think that you actually would be able to commit to yourself and maybe to someone else if it would be something that you would do.
Keeping in mind, it's not just about not having sex. It's about doing all that inner self work.
Exactly.
And not having sex. So it's not like you're just hanging out all day, Netflix and chill, not having sex. It's about like, you have to do the work, the self-growth, right?
Yeah. So, and talking about that, so some people are like, if you just hear like what the movie is about, or okay, it's about these two girls who decide not to have sex for a year. And we came across like the 4B movement. And we were like, well, what is is this what our characters are doing? What are they doing? It's confusing.
What is the 4B movement?
Yes, let's talk about that.
I'm going to bring my phone. I'm going to look up the 4B movement.
Let's look up the 4B movement.
So I know it started in South Korea.
Yes. So it started in South Korea. It was an act of protest, basically. And women just deciding that they're not going to have sex with men and not get pregnant, not have babies, not get married. And yeah, it was a political protest. And then it started to become popular, or like it started to trickle into even American society after all the talk with the recent elections.
Okay, and so the 4B movement has 4 key principles, and I think in Korean all the words start with B. That's why it's called
4B.
4B.
Excellent. Okay,
I'm not gonna try to pronounce these words.
No.
So the translation is no sex with men. Okay. Now, I guess sex with women is allowed. So
there you go. So
that the ways are already different.
Yeah, one of the ways we're already different from the film. Exactly. These girls are not having sex with anyone except maybe themselves.
It's even more radical.
It's more radical. Yes.
No giving birth.
Okay.
Which we don't even talk about that. We don't touch on that.
That's not part of the reason why they've made this pact.
No dating men.
So that's an interesting one. Originally, that was ambiguous. Then
it's something the characters do explore in the film, whether dating is allowed. But again, not just with men. It's men and women. Luna is bisexual, so it's women are in the picture here. And no marriage with men. So that's not at all what we talk about.
No, the reason was not for Lily and Luna, these characters in this film, a boycott or a protest. That's not at all why they entered into this pact. It was very much a focus on the healing, like we were talking about earlier. It was
this is how we are different from the 4B movement. Although the 4B movement is interesting and worth exploring, and
people have their reasons for wanting to do this. As you know, when we first heard about it, I was like, "What is this?" And then when I saw that it was an act of protest, I was like, I understand. Like I can put myself in those shoes and be like, I see. And that's why it's a political act of protest when you have to do something grand. And that's like, I think what's behind it.
And so in our film, Virgins by Choice, it's not about it being a political movement. No. It is about being a personal challenge, exploration.
Yeah, for healing. And again, focus on the self and focus on, being on your own. That's like for both characters, just like healing on their own without being in a relationship, right?
So for Lily, her challenge is to understand, well, maybe you can talk about that.
Yeah, so exactly. So for Lily, her challenge, she's a 40-year-old virgin. So that side of herself was completely shut off. And so part of the challenge, which Luna encourages, is to explore masturbation, to explore sexuality within herself. And what does that look like for her?
Excuse me. You. I get allergies when you talk about masturbation.
I'm sure that's true for some people.
Excuse me there.
Excellent.
If you want to take it again in case we want
to use that take or not.
Whatever. This is what happens.
Yeah, it's great. I think it's great.
It's going to happen again too. Oh, I did see a commercial, just a little side note once, where it looked like all these women were getting pleasured in all these weird situations. It was a genius commercial. And it was actually a short film. Sorry.
Okay.
And it was like, oh. And then it's like, what's going to happen? And at the end, they all sneeze. it's like building for a
this
sneeze.
was why we put this in here right now. We were talking about sex and masturbation, and then there it is. And that's why.
And so it's like, could you go without sneezing for a year? How uncomfortable would that feel? And how itchy would your nose be? But it was a really funny short film. And again, it really looks like you're building up for that when you're about to sneeze.
Interesting.
Oddly, though, they say if you look up, it helps you sneeze faster. I wonder if it also works in the bedroom. Got to try that one next time. When you're like, man, it's been a while. I really should. I don't know.
It could happen. You can test it also and find out
the correlation between sneezing and orgasm. Okay. We digress. So then we talked about Lily.
Yes.
So Luna's exploring learning how to be alone.
Yeah.
So she's not exploring like self-touch as much as she is exploring no touch.
Because she was very sexually free, and that wasn't the thing that she needed to work on.
Intimacy without touch.
Yeah.
Into me, see.
Into me, you see.
Into you, I see.
That's right. Yeah. And there you go. And intimacy with friends, like going through these vulnerable topics, like they did this together. So through their healing journey, they are discussing that with each other. They are growing together. Yeah. It's not it's not a solo journey for them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. No pun intended.
No pun intended.
Get your mind out of the gutter, Sonia. Okay. And so promises and vows.
Yes, exactly. So promises and vows, they decided to do this together, just as we were just talking about. And they made an actual vow.
As if they're getting married.
Yes. So kind of a funny thing, right? But they actually stated certain promises to each other when they decided to begin this pact. So talking about promises and vows.
And having a ritual with it, having a ceremony with it, and how that kind of changes it from just something that's a casual, we should do this, to, we're doing this. And now this is a sacred act. This is a sacred promise that we made. So if we break it, it means more.
It's funny. I'm thinking about New Year's resolutions, right? Like everybody makes New Year's resolutions. And I mean, I don't know. I've made a bunch in my life and I don't always keep them. I think a lot of people do, right? And so I guess that's what we're talking about is some of these differences. Like when you do make a promise with someone else, the impact is greater and the accountability to keep that pact, to keep those promises is greater because now you've entered into it with someone else. Even though it's not a real written contract that these two characters make with each other, it's a verbal one that they make with each other.
Yeah. I mean, interesting. Maybe they should have also written down and signed a document, you know?
Yeah, because they say that does help in terms of like for your own accountability when you're setting goals, writing it down, and that already gives it more power, more weight than just being like more flippant with it.
It's kind of like making a vision board, right?
Yeah.
In a way, it puts it in a tangible way to look at it outside of you and a thought in your head.
Yeah.
So, but it's like a vision board together. I mean, we could have done that too.
Yeah.
We could have done that. There's no right or wrong way to make a pact or a promise to each other. As long as you're having fun with it and taking it sincerely, but not too seriously. It's also, there's not one right way to do it. But I do think that doing it with someone the way that these two friends do it makes it mean more.
Absolutely.
But again, and if you don't have someone to do it with, but you want to do it, comment below. Maybe we'll put you together with someone else who doesn't have a partner.
I mean, we
could be email buddies.
Yes, we have secretly joked throughout this time that like maybe people would want to do this together, and that's what we're wanting to know. We want to know if this is something that you would want to do. And if you have a friend that you would want to do it with, or you're needing someone you want to partner with.
Or we'll just start a group, an online group called virgins by choice. And then anybody that wants to do it can join.
Yeah.
And you can just join and talk and share with the group your experiences. And it's more than 2 people.
Yeah.
It's a whole community.
Yeah.
But if you do have one person to do it with, like, I think it's cool too.
Yeah.
It doesn't get overwhelming. It's less of a broad community feel and more between you and one other person.
Yeah. It's like when you have a gym partner, a gym buddy.
Yes.
You're like, we're going to go to the gym. So you call your friend and she's like, okay, our time to go to the gym, right?
Yeah.
And we're going to meet you there. I'm going to pick you up. It's different. Definitely. It's that accountability, somebody to do it with. Yeah.
And also I do feel like sometimes when it's one-on-one, it doesn't create any weird group dynamics where one person feels left out, and then, which is easy in a group to be quiet or not talk and just let everyone else talk.
Yeah.
But if it's just you and another person, you have to participate fully in that interaction.
And it is intimate and personal.
Yeah.
Right? Like we're not we're not taking this lightly, and the characters in the film don't take it lightly. They're very intimate with each other and personal. I mean, of course, they're best friends, so it's easy for them in that sense. They already trust each other and love and accept each other. But definitely, it's a vulnerable and special thing to let someone in that way, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this is just a different type of vow and promise. That doesn't mean it's better than other types of vows or promises. It's just one way to do it in the way that you're building friendship and connection, because you can make a personal vow, you can marry yourself, you could do all these things which mean a lot
100%.
for your relationship with yourself. But we're talking about friendship and the power of the sisterhood.
Yeah.
So that's the angle with this. This is more about building an intimate friendship bond through doing something like this together, where you're both growing together. That brings you together as friends. So it's a really fun friendship challenge, like friendship goals, right?
Friendship goals. Hashtag friendship goals.
Exactly.
Hashtag friendship goals.
Hashtag. It's like, if you do this with someone, would that enhance your friendship?
Yeah.
So that's worth exploring. In what ways can you build with your friend and do things that are meaningful together than just like hanging out and doing fun things? How can you have a meaningful relationship with your friend? It's easier in a romantic way sometimes because you're romantic and intimate, but I think friendship is just as important, right?
Yeah.
But it's not so easy to know what to do to have like that sincere, intimate relationship with a friend. It's easy to just hang out and do stuff.
Yeah.
Versus like really pour your soul out and do healing work together.
Yeah. But how amazing that is, right? Because your friend can be like your anchor. And we talk about that a lot. Yeah. Like friendship is such an anchor. And to be able to actually get that deep with someone else, not on a like non-romantic level, is really special. Someone that is like your soulmate, but in your friendship mate, right? Like it's like, oh, we were meant to be friends.
Yeah.
But that's something that you can deepen through something like this, which is beautiful. I mean, I'd be interested to know what people would even want to, like, why. If you did comment that you would do it, I would love to know why you would want to do it. Like, is it because you've gone through a breakup recently? Yeah. Or like, what would be something that you would want to work on in those whatever time frame you would do it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think it's interesting because you could choose with your friend to give up something else that's big.
That's true.
Right? Like, let's say alcohol. Let's say you drink, your girlfriends go out for cocktails and you say, we're going to not drink together for a whole year.
Also very controversial,
right?
Maybe worse than sex. I mean, for some, right? It's
for these two characters, because it's relationships that they're struggling with. That's why they choose sex. Mm-hmm. But let's say you're fine there and you want to do something else that's meaningful with your friend and give up something else that's kind of a distraction from your healing. So whatever that could be, drugs, alcohol, or even just like, however you can run away and hide yourself in a lot of things.
Yeah.
Like being busy,
True.
give up like always having to go to a party for a year. Like no parties for a year, right?
Wow.
Whatever it is that you and your friend think actually will help.
Yeah.
For these two friends, it was sex. And that could be helpful for a lot of people because we all deal with relationships and, owning our bodies and reclaiming our bodies and our sexuality. And that's very relatable, but it could also be something else. So also comment below what you would rather give up if not
what you would rather.
Definitely not sleep. Nobody should ever give up sleep.
give up sleep or food.
No.
I mean, people do fasting and stuff, but
give up like
you need to be healthy.
Processed sugar and stuff like that.
That kind of stuff. That kind of food.
Okay, well, I think that I'm happy with what we chatted about today.
So if you enjoyed today, subscribe, comment below, give it a good thumbs up, like. We would love that. That would mean a lot to us. And then you can find out more about our upcoming videos.
And we will be talking about more themes from the film. Yes. So just stay tuned and don't go anywhere except clicking on the next video.
Yes. And if you want a sneak peek about what some of those topics might be, you could read a little bit more in the bio.
Or go to the website, virginsbychoice.com.
Exactly.
Thank you for watching and comment below. And may you find your peace in life. Namaste. Namaste. Namago.